Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we're going to do our first ABX test run with Odin. That was the exact reason why I wanted to tier 3 this guy, because I've been using Silver Surfer for ABX and he's amazing. He can cap out the score. Captain Marvel can too, as far as maxing out the score, but I suck at canceling roars with Captain Marvel. And Silver Surfer's a lot easier than her, in my opinion. He does have the silence on his tier 3. It's a 5-second silence. And this is really nice. We all know how strong Silver Surfer is, but I really want to use the guy for PvP, to be perfectly frank. So I'd like to take this CTP of Rage off of him, put it on someone else, maybe give him something like maybe the CTP of Regeneration. I don't have another CTP of Greed, so I'd probably just slap a CTP of Regeneration, just make him full-blown PvP, because that's really where people mainly use them and where I could actually use them as well. I've actually lost quite a few matches because I do the auto thing, which I probably shouldn't do with the Rage, but I do the auto thing and I play on auto. And yeah, I'm getting guard broken left and right, and then I can die. But with the CTP regeneration, having immunity guard break, unless you're facing the Phoenix, you'll be pretty much okay. But Odin, he really stands out, especially for this, because of his just raw power and the fact that he does have a silence on his tier 3, a 2-second silence. But the beautiful thing about Odin is he also has a 3-second silence on his 4th skill. And personally, like so far, just a little bit of testing I got to do, which wasn't very much. I work a lot on the weekends. I didn't have a whole lot of time to practice this. In fact, the run that you'll see, I only did 3 tries, and the third run that I did is the one that you will watch. And, you know, I just try to silence the beast with the 4th skill. I seem to have the most luck with it. I mean, you can definitely do it with the tier 3. Probably going to have to practice a little more. I don't even have a set rotation for this guy, so let's just run through the build. So he has 40,000 energy attack, he has 126 attack speed, 57 crit rate. This is going to get buffed up by one of his skills. I can't remember which one right now. He's got 163 critical damage and max ignore defense and max skill cooldown and 49% dodge. This is bad. 49% dodge. I have a CTP of Rage on this guy, so I'm losing 25% dodge. That's really hurting his damage, because the Rage is based off how much critical rate and dodge you have. Plus his critical damage is only 163. And the build actually gets worse as we take a look at this. He only has 5-star energy attack Urus and 5-star critical damage. So I can definitely bump him up. I gotta ignore defense here. I can definitely buff him up quite a bit, which I definitely will. And we all know about his skills. I believe it was his 3rd skill, gives him the damage accumulation. And then his 5th skill gives him the 30% crit rate. So our crit rate is going to be maxed out for this 6-second duration, but that's about it. So it'd still be a good idea to have your critical rate maxed out for the most part, but you don't really need it. And he has a stage 6 power rating Hawk, so we don't even have a fully awakened ISO 8 set, which means that we're not going to be getting this. You know, this would be 40% increase of all attack if it was fully awakened. You wouldn't have as high stats, because these ISO 8 sets would have higher stats if they were awakened. If you take a look at this ISO here, you have 275, whereas this ISO, we have 171. So when they're awakened, you get more stats, plus you get the higher set bonus. It really makes a big difference when this ISO 8 set is fully awakened. And then, of course, we have the CTP of Rage, and I have a normal ranked uniform. This is another thing that's going to hurt Odin, but I was real curious to see what he could do with this base minimum build. And I have been saving up my uniform chips, because I will build this guy for sure for the next time I do an ABX run. But because of today, because I just don't have a lot of time, it's the weekend, I work a lot on the weekends, I just wanted to try this just out of curiosity. It's no restriction day. I can cap out no restriction, no problem, with Luna or Cable, so it's not a big deal. But his uniform effect gives him this extra chain hit damage by 20% when attacking, which is really nice. And if I had this thing at Mythic, we could get so many more options. We get more attack stats. We could get more critical damage. It would be so much easier to max out the score. However, I'm not going to be able to max out the score because I just don't have the max stats. So as far as the team that you want to run with, nope. For no restriction day, I'm actually going to be using Odin, and of course, and then we're going to be using, let me see if I can find him. Nick Fury here, because we really want that guaranteed critical rate to help trigger that CTP of rage. And then we're going to put Nick Fury in the leadership. Now on Universal Hero Day, you know, obviously these two are not going to be available. We'll have to use different team ups. But for no restriction day, I was just curious to see how high could we go? How much damage could we do with a good max team, but pretty much a bare minimum build? Really the only thing I guess special about the build is that we have a CTP of rage, and that's about it. With a proc, you can definitely do this, but you're not going to do as well. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. And ABX, you know, Cable, he's the exception to the rule. He can max out the score with a CTP of energy, but he's the only character that can do that currently in the game. I mean, maybe Odin can, I have no idea, but it would be extremely tough because you're trying to cancel the roars of the beast. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. Now remember, this was only my third try. I don't have a set rotation, nothing. So I'm gonna get that attack buff. We're gonna switch to Odin, cancel the 3 into the 5, wait for Odin to get big, hit the 4, then hit the 1, then hit the 2 here. Now I might start hitting the 2 before the 1 because the 2 actually the damage keeps going. But I'm really just kind of playing it by feel. You know, when Odin starts doing his tier 3, I just try to throw in that 2 and that 1 and then the 4 if I can, if it's off cooldown. Like I said, I don't really have a set rotation, but after I did this recording, I did start improving the rotation a little bit. I actually think he could cap out the score on this day with this team, with this build. I mean, Odin's in freaking insane. I'm not going to do any slow motion for canceling the beast roars. Maybe I'll do that on a Universal Hero Day. But we're going to cancel the roar here at 208. We're going to hit that 4 skill. Boom. Here we silence the beast, cancel the roar, and boom shakalaka. Pretty nuts though. You know, we did about 2 million damage in the first minute. So that's an average of 6 million damage for the entire run. But we'll actually do better than that. We'll improve as we go, that's for sure. Come on, Odin. And this is why I tier 3'd this guy. This is why I did it. I can tell you with Silver Surfer, with this build, I would not have been able to put up the score that you're going to see Odin put up today. I would not have. I just, you know, Silver Surfer, he's not super difficult to cancel the beast roars with, but I do think he's kind of a pain compared to Odin. Odin just having that silence and that 4 skill just makes him a lot easier in my opinion. A lot easier. Not quite as easy as Cable in my opinion, but still a lot easier. There we cancel the beast roar at a minute 16. Since the beast was stunned, we hit the 4 skill, cancel his roar again. Remember, when the beast gets stunned and you're coming up on that second roar, which is usually at a minute 18, if he gets stunned at a minute 16 is when you want to stun him again. That's usually about the sweet spot to cancel that thing's roar. And he'll usually roar again at 38 seconds. Of course, it depends on what he's doing, if he's jumping around or whatever he's doing. There we go. And my rotation's all out of whack right now, and that's one of the reasons I didn't want to make this a guide. But we're going to hit the... Here we go. And there we go. So right there, I actually hit the 4 skill about 34 seconds. And like I said, it just depends on what the beast is doing as to whether or not when you should cancel its roar. It really does take quite a bit of practice. Now we're coming up on that 6 million mark. We only got about 16 seconds left. Come on, buddy. Like I said, I actually think that we could max out the score. In fact, after I did this run, I was able to hit about almost 6.9 million. But I wanted to show this run because it was just more practical, to be perfectly honest. And it was the first one where I actually let the score finish. So almost 6.6 million, just 3 tries without even knowing a correct rotation. I was actually pretty happy with this and pretty proud of it. But I know we could cap out the score even with this build, which is pretty freaking insane. So let me know how you're all feeling about Odin doing ABX. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.